Right then, hello there, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever it is, wherever you happen to be. My name is Paul, I'm also called Knickknack. I am the brains behind the fantastically wonderful blog that is Knickknack's Old Peculiar. The link should be up here, hopefully. Please feel free to check it out. I also do the daily teaser. They'll be floating around YouTube and on the blog. And I also talk about movies I've seen, and I talk about TV shows I've been watching. Just recently I've been watching Star Trek Picard's second series, and I'll be watching the last episode on Friday. I've also been watching Stranger Things fourth series, and it's quite a watch. I've just recently as last night, Tuesday the 23rd, watched the 9th and final episode of the series, Piggyback. Or The Piggyback. I wanted to tell you about it. Chapter 9, The Piggyback, opens with snow falling over Kamchatka. As Yuri, Nikolai Derichko, tries to repair the helicopter that will take Joyce, Hopper and Murray, Winona Ryder, David Harbour and Brett Gelman, back to America. Whilst Joyce and Hopper catch up, Murray and Ivan, Nikolai Nikolov, watch Yuri, convinced that he's stalling in his repairs and doesn't know what he's doing. The group's discussions are interrupted by a phone call. Meanwhile, in Hawkins, Nancy is giving a pep talk to the group that's planning to try and stop Vecna in his tracks. Phase 1 involves meeting Erica, Priya Ferguson, at the playground. She's going to be communicating with Lucas and Max, Caleb McLaughlin and Sadie Sink at the Creole House, trying to lure Vecna into action. Phase 2, Max baits Vecna. He'll be vulnerable to attack at this point. Phase 3, Justin and Eddie, Gaten Matarazzo and Joseph Quinn distract the bats so they don't interfere with the plan. And Phase 4, Steve, Robin and Nancy, Joe Keery, Mayor Hulk and Natalia Dyer attack Vecna with Molotov cocktails. Flambe, as Robin so wisely puts it. The group has to make sure they keep in touch, which Nancy emphasises, and as she also puts it, nobody deviates from the plan no matter what. Post-titles, we rejoin 11, Millie Bobby Brown and her group, Mike, Will, Jonathan and Argyle, Finn Wolfhard, Noah Schnapp, Charlie Heaton and Eduardo Franco, who are still in Nevada, hoping, but not sure how, to contact their friends in Hawkins and be able to help and get it there quickly. Whilst Jonathan's trying to deal with an uncooperative airline, 11 slowly realises she could contact and eavesdrops and protect Max and Gan from where they are in Nevada. The only complication is she's going to need a flotation tank. In other words, she's going to need a lot of ice-cold water, some salt, a pair of glasses that block out everything she could see that would distract her. She's going to need some warm clothes, an empty freezer, and a lot of defrosting. Oh, and salt as well, to put this in. And possibly some food as well. As Argyle points out, there really is only one place in town they could get all of this little lot. Now, and I could possibly carry on there giving you a summary, but what did I make of the Piggyback, this cliffhanger of a season finale, and what did I make of the season? Let's try and start with what I thought of the episode, shall we? It has to be said, the Piggyback does have its emotional moments. The persecuted Eddie Munson, who was well played there by Joseph Quinn, dies a hero after distracting the bat-like inhabitants of the Upside Down with a superb guitar solo. Master of Puppets, I think, by Metallica. It's appropriate for the year, I think. But it was wonderful to watch. He dies a hero's death, seen only by Dustin, who's the only person who can pass the sad news back to Eddie's family. There's other things in the episode as well. Towards the end, after the climax of the storyline, Robin gets to meet Vicky, the now single love of her life. We see Jonathan and Will becoming closer. with the older Jonathan reminding his younger brother that he's always there to talk if needed. It's quite something to watch. Lucas Sinclair character, played by Caleb McLaughlin, is one of the more deeply affected by events. Max, the love of his life, is now in a deep coma, one caused in part by Vecna's attack and in part by other forces. His scenes are touching, as is the overall episode itself. Arguably, at 2 hours and 19 minutes, the Piggyback may be a little bit too long, but it's a very well-paced 2 hours and 19 minutes, certainly on a par with the Massacre at Hawkins Lab, which was the other long but very well-paced episode in the series. Frankly, I think that's my point. The episode is long, but it's an emotional and beautifully done final episode to a series that is genuinely really quite watchable. Yes, some episodes are long, and that may have been solved by possibly having maybe 1 or 2 more episodes rather than 8 or 9 episodes, some of which are double the length of others. But equally, the series held my attention. It grows the characters very well, and it leaves us with the distinct possibility the show's chief villain is still alive. It leaves us with a very wrecked Hawkins, and it leaves us with a cliffhanger like none other I've seen for a while. Knowing that season 5 has been commissioned, and knowing that writing has started on that, knowing all that, and having seen all this, I am looking forward, quite frankly, to the 5th and final season airing. I will be reviewing those as soon as I know a release date. Please keep your eyes open on both Knickknacks Old Peculiar and the Mr. Cuddy 2977 channel. That's where I'll be posting stuff. At any rate, having watched this full series of Stranger Things for now, that leaves my Tuesday and Wednesday nights free. I may well start on a new series. I've got a couple sitting around I want to watch, but I also might catch a movie or two. I don't know what I'll be doing just yet. I do know that on Friday, the 26th of August, is when I'm going to be watching Farewell, the last episode of Star Trek Picard's 2nd season. I'd love it if you join me on that. That'll be on Friday. I'll have my reviews up on Saturday. I will see you then. Take care, be good, have fun. Don't fall off that thing. You'll go ouch. Just as a last thought for this, as a last postscript for this last review of this series of Stranger Things, I have to admit to being particularly taken with Argyle, played by Eduardo Franco in this episode, as he has been for the whole series. I am personally convinced that if you're going to cast all the characters in a Dungeons & Dragons role-playing game kind of way, or turn them into those kind of character classes, Franco's character would be a wizard. Basically, he can, as Terry Pratchett would have noticed, or would have pointed out, he's a wizard because he knows the one extra fact the other characters don't. He famously spots tracks going through the deserts in the last episode. And of course, in this episode, he famously can get hold of mystical stuff in order for the other wizard in the show, 11, to do her thing. He can, of course, summon huge mystical bags of salt. He can summon huge mystical bags of water. And of course, if nothing else, he can summon pizza. Which is nice, isn't it? At any rate, the reason I mention that is because I thought I'd have a perfect name for him. He is, of course, Argyle, the Perpetually Stoned. And if that's not the name of a wizard, I'm a duck.